Okay, got it.
Go ahead, Kim. Tell the folks about you out there. And we brought you back about your seamstress. So tonight, guys, those of you that are watching and those of you who are sharing, do bring someone in. And we are now talking about the art that we are losing, and that is seamstress and sewing. So tell them about yourself.
Okay.
Kim.
I got the thing on my phone too. So I'm like, why is it like a different echo or something? Okay, I'm not that good at techie stuff. But hi, everybody. Thank you so much for showing up. Ah, well, all of you know that I write, but what I have done, and you know that I sew because as our beautiful hostess is wearing an outfit that I made, a kimono I made just for her. And hopefully Queenie pulled hers out and put it on too. But I sew. I have been sewing since I was 7 years old. My dad was a tailor. He sewed for a lot of entertainers, but he was also a disabled veteran. And he spent like 6 months out of the year in the hospital. So, in order for me to spend time with him, I had to go and he had a shop on the back of the garage, and then they had a business in Los Angeles on Santa Barbara, which I think is now MLK. But meanwhile, in order to spend time with him, I would have to go out in the back in the studio, and I would, be puttering around, making little stuff for my Barbie dolls and everything. And then it got to the point where all my friends wanted me to make stuff for their Barbie dolls too. But also one time he was in the hospital, and I decided I was gonna make a halter top, the kind with the choker in the 70s and
Oh,
everybody
yes.
wore. Well, I got out a needle and thread and I did it, and it came out really cute. I had yellow yarn for hair. I had buttons for the eyes and nose, and I couldn't figure out what to do about the mouth. So I sewed a red licorice onto it.
Wow,
It
very
was
creative.
so cute though. I'm riding up and down the street, and all my friends are coming out, and they're like asking me about it, and we're riding around the neighborhood together, and everybody's asking about it and making contracts. They want to put in so much of their allowance or trade toys for me to make them one. So then me and my best friends who lived on my block, we came up with the idea, well, heck, if everybody want them, why don't we make them and sell them? So we all went and busted our little piggy banks open, got on our bikes, and rode downtown Compton to Woolworths. And we bought a lot of the chokers and some fabric. We went back, and I was sewing by hand, and I was like, this is too slow. And then I was like, Daddy's sewing machine. I can go do it on there. So I get on the machine. Girl, it's like, as soon as I stepped on that pedal, this whole finger just had the needle stuck inside.
Oh, I remember that.
And my girlfriends came and they was like, okay, so we figured out how to take the needle out. So we took it out, pulled it out of my finger, and then poured some alcohol on it and put the needle back in and started over.
Just kept it moving.
That never happened again. I just kept it moving. But yeah, we made up all these tops for kids, but we went and set up a stand in the front yard. We had lemonade, chocolate chip cookies with frosting on them, and halter tops. And we out there, and grown women are stopping to see, and all the girls that were around the table had on their halter tops. So all these grown women, I'm taking measurements and everything. And so that worked because and then word of mouth, we were doing it. But after a while, about a week later, Dad came home. And this lady rang the doorbell and she's asking for me. And I'm 7 years old, right? And so he comes to get me. So I see who it is, and I'm going back to get her order. So I get her order, and Daddy's looking at me. He's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Some tops." And he said, "Let me see it." And he's looking at it and examining it. And then he had this little one corner of his mouth went up. I knew he wanted to smile. But anyway, I went to the door. I gave the lady her tops. I got my money. And the next morning he came and he told me, "When you finish your chores, meet me in the back." And after that day, he started teaching me from scratch. He even had me reading all his trade textbooks. So, because he could make patterns and everything. And now so can I. But it's easier to take an existing pattern and alter it a little bit. But yeah, I've been sewing. After that, I've been sewing my way all the way through school. And my friends' parents would come to us, and if I couldn't do it, Daddy could do it. So,
So Kim, did your passion come from seeing your dad, or you just had a small God-given gift within you that you knew you wanted to do it?
Seeing my father do it, and it just made me like clothes. And he made outfits for the whole family. Like when we were going for the holidays or something like that, we all had all three of us had matching outfits.
Well, so do you remember?
Back then, it was the Nehru collar, and the hot pants.
You're going way back. So do you remember during that time what the style was and what was the trendy? Were you doing like the trendy styles?
It was the era of the Superfly suit. Girl, it got to the point like during the summer and on holidays, I would go with him to the real shop where they sold for a lot of entertainers. And I would be sitting back there with a needle and thread. Those Superfly suits had that hand stitching on it.
Yes.
That was all me. Okay. So every one of those suits, I made $50. So my pockets was fat for a little, by that time I was about 10, 12 years old. My pockets stayed fat. I'd just go to the shop and work for whatever he wanted to tell me to do, whether it was cutting or ironing or whatever, and just sit there and watch the environment with all the entertainers coming through.
So fast forward, Kim, in this day and time, and I know we're losing the art of sewing, and some people want to sew, but it kind of, I wouldn't say it phased out. It's just hard to find. Everybody still want their stuff custom made and things like that. So can you tell us about what are you doing now? Because I know at one point when COVID happened, you were doing masks.
Yes, I stopped counting when I got to 4,000. That's how
4,000. You first started off doing the mask as what, charity or as what?
Yeah, most of them were all charity, and then even the Neighbors Go website where everybody in the area were posting that they needed them, and I'm like, maybe this is why the lady that gave me all that fabric. Maybe this is why that happened, so I could help these people. And I got my aunt, she's in her 70s, and my girlfriend came over, and we had a little assembly line. And my aunt sat there on that sewing machine after about 8 hours. I was like, "Ain't you tired yet?" She was like, "Nope, give me some more."
And you said 4,000.
Yeah.
Wow. And this was cloth, most likely.
Cotton. cotton. Girl, if you had cotton, you had gold. And I had
Mm,
tons of it. And I'm like,
wow.
this is why God gave me all this to help these people. And I would make up the talk to the people, find out how many people are in your house, what's their favorite colors and all that. And they'd say, but I just need two. And I'd be, okay, don't worry about it. But I still would get all that information and
Mhm.
how old the children were because I had lots of kids' fabrics. When that lady gave me so much fabric, it took me 3 months to measure and
Wow.
sew it. But
Tell us
um,
about the ones behind you, the fabric that you have, because you're in
other
that room
stuff
to
that
show us
came
some
up.
things.
Okay, well, those are just, I've got fabric, I've got 2 rooms full of fabric. Um, some things are like I go into a store or something, but most of this is from that lady that passed all her stuff on to me. And it's like really nice change. It's like if I don't ever want to buy fabric again, I don't have to. And
What can you make with those, that type fabric? Tell us about the fabric.
okay, well, this is a stretch that's gonna make me a really cute wrap and tie dress. And it's got that chain design on it. And then I love fabrics that have bling. This is a sheer, and I'm gonna make a long shirt dress out of this. And it's got that little gold in there to make it
Ooh,
pop. And here's another one that I think is gonna be a dress with some ruffles because it just looks so delicate, you know?
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've got tons and tons of stuff. And I keep most of it in Rubbermaid bins so that it doesn't dry rot. I got men's suit fabric, mohair, wools. I got tons of wools.
It's
But
about to be winter time, so
that's right.
folks will want that. And guys that
Yeah.
you're on here, if you
Yeah.
want to ask some questions or if you're in need of fabric, do put your questions down there and let us know what types do you have on hand so far that you know of?
I got everything you could think of. There's never been a person walk in here that didn't find something that they like. Okay,
Okay.
because the other room is stacked up with Rubbermaid boxes as tall as me, you know,
Wow.
going all the way around the room. I've got tons of stuff.
So you
Um,
guys get ready and you do ship. You do
I
shipping,
do
right?
ship and I shop online with you. I'll take my phone and open up the drawers, and you can say what you want me to pull out and show you. And that's what I'll do. And then we ship it on to you.
Wow.
Also, sewing classes. I'm trying to get things together to do online classes. But right now, if you're in the Dallas area, I do private lessons. And that is going great. That's going real
Awesome.
good.
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
found myself after my husband had his stroke, I had to start making some money, and I got 2 jobs. One of them was working in the Amazon warehouse. I didn't like that because I lost like 30 pounds in the first month. But and then I was doing Arise work from home. I was doing their what do you call it? Roadside assistance. Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm still employed by both of them. I'm just on leave of absence. But all of these places, um, it was okay, but I just wasn't feeling it. And then I found Thumbtack. This site called Thumbtack, I found it like 2 months ago. And I'm making so much money. I can't believe it's keeping me busy. I'm doing what I love. I'm making more money than I was working both of those jobs. And
Wow.
I'm happy. Roadside assistance with, oh Lord, I like the job. I like helping people. But like that Louisiana thing that they had, with the floods, I was
Yeah.
getting nightmares because so many of these people, I couldn't help them. There was no way I could help them because if there's no electricity, there's no gas, which means
Wow.
even the tow trucks don't have gas. And these
Mm.
people are stuck, they ain't got food, they're, oh man, in New York on top of it, and the phone's
Yeah.
ringing back to back to back to back. And my husband was like, as I would wake up and I'd be like, hello, my name is Kim. Are you in your vehicle in a safe location?
Kim, earlier you was telling me about the quilt that you make, and you talked about a quilt and you talked about making a sweater.
You know what? I found out I like quilting. It is so much fun. And I had to get a machine. Um, and the one that they had that was on sale was at Walmart and it was $214. And it's actually a sewing and quilting machine. And I got an order for it and I had made one a long time ago. But I went and did some studying and looked it up. Anyway, the lady wanted a t-shirt quilt. I had never done one. But by the time I finished studying and I got those, she wanted two of them. And she'd been everywhere, China, Machu Picchu, all of the Caribbeans. And she had a t-shirt for all these different places. So we put it together and it came out real good. You could see those on my Facebook, Seamstress Alterations and Sewing Instructor page. And also at Seamstress Kim-Robinson.com and on my author Kim Robinson page. You could scroll down and you could see, some of the quilts that I've done. But I like it. It's just so calming putting these pieces together and coming up with these beautiful designs. And I found a bag in the garage that was full of all of my sweaters from over, like the last 20 years. And most of them are too little anyway. They're like a size 10, and I'm like, I'm more than that now. Let's just put it like that.
And you took those sweaters and just started making
Yes, I started cutting them in like diamond shapes, and I'm piecing them all together. And it's looking good, and it's gonna be really warm. And I'm putting the backing on it so that the sweater fabric won't change when you wash it or anything. And then I got the batting in between that and I got the fleece backing. It's coming out really good.
wow.
But my favorite thing is designing clothes for people. It's like I can kind of look at people and tell what would look good on them. And a lot of my people, my customers, they're like, look, you need to find me some. They come and they find the fabric and then they ask me, what should we make? And I'm gonna leave it to you, because I've worked with them for so long. I've got their measurements, I can put them together, and that's what I love doing. And I have never had anybody not like what I came up with.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
good.
the fabric, I call myself the fabric whisperer because it tells me what it
Oh,
wants to be.
that is beautiful. I like that coin name.
Yeah,
Marcia Williams Cromer, she said, love you, sister.
I
And she
love
said,
you too,
amazing.
girl. How are you?
For those who
Wait a
just
minute.
got
Okay,
on,
is this my
I'm
girl
going to
from
show them
Black
again.
Pearls? Is that my girl from Black Pearls? Marcia,
Are you from Black Pearls as well, Marcia? She'll text that down there. But I was showing them again what you made for
yeah,
me.
yeah, I got on a kimono kick.
Comfortable.
And I was like, you and Queenie have been so good to me. It's like, I'm going to do something for them. And I'm
She
not
said
gonna tell
yes. That's who she is.
Okay, let me tell you about her. You have got to get her on your show.
I've
She
had
did,
her with
she
her
did,
book.
huh?
I've
She
had her
did-
on my show.
she got us 2 books out called The Rancher in Stilettos, Part 1 and Part
Yes.
2. Girl, uh, I can't wait. I'm just mad that Part 3 ain't out yet. But they are really good. It's The Rancher in Stilettos.
It was
And
good. I had the first one.
I don't, I don't have much time to sit down and read anymore. But I went and bought me a Kindle finally, because usually I
Yes.
would just have it do it on the computer. But I bought me a Kindle. Girl, every evening, by the time I couldn't sew no more, I go plug in, and The Rancher and Stilettos were my first downloads. Where that lady
Wow.
with
You
the
heard
voice
that.
reads it to you, girl. I loved it. I loved
Wow.
it. It was good. It was
Yes,
good
it
romance.
was good. We're
Good
waiting on book
romance.
2.
So yeah, I suggest you getting her on.
Yeah, we're waiting on book 2 as well.
Yeah.
So any seamstress questions, put it out there, please. Dr. Velma is there. She's on there, and also Queenie. Tell us about, you were saying that you do the quilting. I want to try to remember. I don't know if you were saying in a literary sense or something you were telling me
Oh, okay.
about.
Like
Could you tell us about that?
well, there's no limit to what things that you can do with your quilts. The rest in peace. People have those T-shirts with the people's face painted on it.
Yes.
And I'm from Compton, so a lot of my friends got lots of those stacked up. So, and commemorative, like people, like my mom passed in March of this year, and she used to always send me clothes, and they were her hand-me-downs, but they were still nice clothes. She knew how to take care of her clothes. She had lots of clothes, because back in the day, Daddy used to make all her stuff. But a lot of those things, I remember events and things that we did and places we went, and I'm taking all of those suits and pantsuits that she sent me, and I'm gonna turn them into a quilt. That's gonna be just mine. I wanted to do one for my father, but he's like, nah, because then I'm already sitting around here thinking about her all day. That'll really just depress me. So, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. That, and then sports, people who love sports, you can have
And you're making those into quilts.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I could do the sports shirts, because I'm going to put a backing on it. I use the fusible interfacing and put that on the back, so that when you wash it, it still stays the way it should be.
Kim, are people still using down feathers or whatever you call it to put in the quilts and stuff? Are they still using it?
No, I do batting. I do not do the down stuff. The only way I could do that, I can do it, because you just go and buy a quilt that's full of the feathers and use that as your backing. Just put the front that you make, use that feather use the feather comforter as a backing for
I see.
the quilt. Yeah.
So
yeah.
There's a question here for you, Kim, and it's from Dr. Velma. She said, I'm enjoying it. She designed like my mom. also was a seamstress. She sews from, let's see, this disappear, from sight to without pattern. Nice to
Yeah.
hear the gift still exists.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? And all my students, it's like my whole thing. I'm getting my website redone. It seems just KimRobinson.com, but I'm having it redone. And it's gonna be carrying on the legacy, you know,
Mm,
because that's what I'm doing with this. Because each student, I'm bringing back the artist on one student at a time. And it's
yes.
like, I love, you know, when I have a client who really gets into it, I can tell they're going to be successful at this.
That's
And
beautiful.
then you got people who it just ain't for them, and then they'll just pay me to make their stuff. So I'm
Oh,
okay with it.
wow.
But
So
I
what is
love
the
it.
age group? What is the lowest age group that you
Oh,
start with?
please, my children, they were 3 when I started them sewing. Yes. We get on our bikes and ride to the fabric store and they pick out their patterns and we would sit. That was our activity. You know what I mean? We would do
Yeah.
that for so many hours and they would go wearing their stuff, showing everybody what they made. My daughter had the little Barbie doll machine and they were good at it. Of course, now they ain't into that, but then they want to go buy all these people are buying all this stuff made in China, and it's like most of the stuff is seconds. There's something wrong with it, so people are bringing. I do alterations and all that too. And they're bringing it to me, and it's like I'm looking at it, and even the seams need to be reinforced because they're just the quality of the workmanship is just not there.
Well,
I believe in
even with a professional seamstress, they're just losing the art.
you gotta realize this stuff is coming out of China and those sweatshops, and these people are doing it as cheap as they can, you know.
Oh,
And I have a lot of people bringing me alterations for that kind of stuff because something on it just wasn't the way it was supposed to be. But I do know how to fix it and make it how it's supposed to be. So,
wow.
or I tell them, well, it would cost you less if you just took a lesson and I show you how to do it. And that's when I
Yeah.
reel them in.
Yes, yes, yes. I know my mom, she used to do it and she got 11 kids, but she had the old sewing machine that, the sewing machine part, it went inside and then you could just close it like it was just a cabinet like, and then you
Mm,
lift it back up and it was the
yeah,
paddle. I used
yeah,
to just like to see her paddle. She tried to show
yeah.
me how to sew, but
But
I
those
wasn't getting
old
it.
machines were great machines. You
Yeah.
know, all those old fashioned ones, these new ones, I mean, it's like every year or two I gotta get a new one, but they last
Yeah.
and I'm sewing like almost every day. So,
Do you
you
remember
know.
what type of sewing machine Dad had back in the 60s?
Oh, Daddy had the singers. He had
Yes, that's what my mom had.
the singer professional, the industrial machine.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
the
and
I
then he
remember
had
that
a
the metal part
singer,
of it was
and
like
then he had
metal.
the little singer home sewing machine,
Mm.
that he got later for me. And then my great grandmother passed, but before she died, she told me that I could have her sewing machine, which was one of those iron singers in the table. You know that thing?
That's the one I'm talking about. You
That
described it so much
that
better.
bad
It was
boy with
in the
that big
table.
plate pedal. Oh,
Yes,
I
that's the one I'm
loved it.
talking about.
I loved it. And that thing took me all the way up into my 20s. I had that machine. Yeah.
Wow.
And it never broke, not once. You just make sure you clean it out and oil it, and it doesn't. They don't
I
break.
remember the oiling thing. I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, I think I remember oiling and you said it. Yeah, it was the oiling thing. So I became professionally threader. I was just the
Oh,
threader. So
okay. Well,
I was the famous threader, but I couldn't sew. But I
well,
was the famous
now
threader.
the machines are self-threading. Right
Uh-huh.
now, the machines are self-threading.
Oh, wow.
Yep. You don't have to do all that. And that's great for a blind person like me.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, they self-thread. They
So
thread.
how does that work? Tell us about that. How is it self-threaded? How?
Well, there's this little button that you push down and it goes around the back of the needle and it has this little tiny hook inside of it that goes into the hole of the needle. And then you just put your thread there and that hook pulls it back through the needle and you're on your way.
Wow.
Okay. Where'd you go? Okay, why I can't hear you on here?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, Dr. Velma said that her grandmother had an iron black singer in
That's
the
the
cabinet.
one.
That's the one?
Lord. But you know what? I have ran across some of those, but the only problem is there's nobody to fix them. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
they're so old and there's just so I just stick with the stuff we have. But I keep putting the bug in my husband's ear because at first I thought I wanted the quilting machine, but when I looked up those prices, he's like, that's as much as a car. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, but it's a huge quilting machine. And I'm like, I could start a quilting business. He's like, let's just slow your roll. But
Wow.
I'm good. I'm good with doing what I'm doing now. And then I'm also, um, I don't know how many people know about this, but Kindle Vale has this new thing, and I was thinking about trying it. It's like as you write your chapters, you post them, and people go and pay for them with tokens. And I don't know if it started, but I was reading about it. So I'm trying to get my books. I got 2 books that I would like to get out at least by March, you know? Well, 2 series actually. I want to get them out at least by March.
So would this go with your Rue in the Gumbo series, or this is a different
No,
standalone?
this is a whole nother party. And
Really? Well, tell us a little bit about it if you can,
okay,
without
God,
giving us away. I get, you know, I'm
yeah.
gonna be nosy.
Well, God ain't spelled government. Okay, that is. I went to my class 20-year class reunion. And there was a friend of mine that was there. She was actually the valedictorian, and she worked for the um, the government. I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna say
Uh-huh.
what part she worked for.
Okay.
Anyway, she was a little bit. We was all tipsy, okay. But then all of a sudden she started crying and she said, if y'all know like I know, you better get you some AK-47s and build you a shelter in your backyard because there's aliens living among us. And we all just looked at her and started cracking up. She's like, yeah, y'all act like I'm crazy if you want to. You gonna wish you would have listened to me one day. Well, you know what? I went home to my parents' house that night and I had a dream about it. And lo and behold, a lot of the stuff, I started working on this book and I had an uncle who was totally into UFO sci-fi stuff, that Art Bell type conspiracy theory stuff. And I would sit and talk to him for hours. And he had me listening to all these radio shows. And it's like I just kept it. it wrote itself. It's like I put my fingers on the keys and it's just, I got all these people around me, these people telling me what's happening. I mean, they even giving me the dialogue. So I just type. So that's, aliens decided that they were going to wipe off the planet that we have polluted because they made the same mistake with their planet, but when they detonated the bombs to clean it off so it could generate itself, they used too much and they couldn't go back home. And the only planet they could acclimate to is Earth.
Oh my
So they're
goodness.
here, but they look, well, they don't look like us because if you have melanin, they can't look like you.
What's the title of this? So it's a little sci-fi. Would you say it's sci-fi?
Bidensville government.
Oh,
Because it's the government working with aliens and only certain people are gonna be able to stay in
oh, that
the house
sounds good.
for 2 years. But we find out it's got some romance, it's got the hood, it's got the Manhattan and Long Island. The
Will it have
Hamptons.
some seamstress in there, little Broadway stuff where they can go get their clothes and the zoot suits and all that? How they
Yeah.
gonna dress?
Well, no, it's current time.
Current time.
It's current time. It's like right now, right here. Actually,
Wow.
with the Ruin the Gumbo, I have some people working on the script right now.
Oh,
They
that's
have
good.
actually done my uncle's books, The Kings of Credit,
Yes.
and Tit for Tat. They have turned his books. They're editing right now for the movies.
Wow.
And anyway, they're gonna work on the Ruin the Gumbo, my
I
script,
really
and
enjoyed
I
that.
have all these companies I want to submit my script to. I need to get an agent. That's what I need. But I'm
Yeah.
so scared because so
Yeah.
many of them are so crooked. But
Because I know you put a little bit of street life together with the Ruin the Gumbo. So will you
yeah,
have where the Ruin the Gumbo stand alone? Because I really like Sasquatch
well, it's
and
the Szechuan.
Sasquatch.
Szechuan.
I always say it's like an Indian name. I always say his name. I
Yeah.
really like him.
That's why Sasquatch is that monster that lives in the woods.
Yeah, not him. Not him.
Yeah, well, Szechuan, yeah. Well, you know what? I'm working on. I've got all these different books that I write what I wake up with. If I had a good dream, I get up and I write it out. Because it's got to fit somewhere in the 200 books that I have the that I am working on. And if it doesn't fit in one, I just start another one. But the Goddessville government, and then I have Thieves in the Night. Now that's gonna be a series.
Oh,
That's gonna
wow.
be a long
So
series.
you doing two different series at one time, or you doing,
I just whatever comes into my mind when I wake up,
wow.
because I wake up and I try to write for at least a couple of hours.
So how do you know how to, well, I know you as a writer, you would know, but I'm trying to figure out how you keep both stories apart from each other.
I don't know. It's like I have this movie in my mind telling me what it needs to be, and I just follow the lead, and whatever I
Wow.
dreamed about, and I dream so vivid.
Mhm.
Say I read some of God's Ain't Spelled Government before I go to sleep. By the time I wake up the next morning, I'm gonna know what the next thing I need to put in there is, you
Oh,
know.
wow.
So, and then Thieves in the Night. Oh, y'all gonna love this. These little hot girls running around here putting all their information on social media, and they wondering why so many of them are coming up missing. It's
Oh,
human trafficking, you know.
wow.
And they don't only use them for sex. They use them for maids. They use them for body parts. And,
So when is this coming out? What?
okay, well, the way it starts is getting there. The first one's almost done
Okay.
because it's going to be, these are going to be my first books that are not at least 400 pages long.
Okay.
Yeah, they're probably going to be like 200 because I
Yay!
want all the girls to have their own book of their
Okay.
own experience, but different experiences. So maybe, and try to make it YA so the young adults maybe they'll start
Yeah.
realizing
Yeah.
the position you're putting not only yourself but your family and anybody that's hanging out with you, you're putting them at risk because you're putting all your stuff on social media. They know where you are, they know where to find you, they know all your business. Anyway, this Galleria mom, her husband was a investment banker. Well, there's this shopping center here in Dallas called the Galleria, and that's where all the Saks and all those stores are. Um, she's used to having money. She didn't have much education. She helped her husband get through college, waiting on tables, and then he was successful at it, and they have the country club life. Well, she's got two boys who are in Ivy League schools, and then she's got two girls who they just had their 16th birthday and got matching Mercedes, and they're like on the cheer squad, and these little Beckies, they're Beckies, and the mom is like um she's lonely because her husband doesn't come home like he's supposed to. Well, they have these rooms that they rent for the employees at the bank. Sometimes they have to have people come in from out of town, and so they have rooms for them at the hotel. Well, they keep these rooms, but daddy is in these rooms with his secretary, who has to have a secretary because she's not there to do the work. She's in the room with him. Anyway, what happens is one day he don't come home. Then the next day she goes to the country club, and she's persona non grata because everybody realizes he don't run off with all these people's money from the country club who he did the investment stuff with. He just gone. Okay. And the Galleria mom, she don't know what she gonna do. Soon after she starts running, all these bills start coming, phone calls start coming. She don't know what she's supposed to do. She ain't never had to worry about no bills or nothing like that. But she's getting desperate, and she meets this man who gives her a proposition. He can give her $10,000 for every girl she brings to him. So she has a party for her daughters for their birthday. And that night at 12 o'clock, all the boys got to leave. Well, she made cocoa for them. And the cocoa, she put this stuff to make them sleep. So once they passed out, these guys show up, and they're taking them and putting them in these two vans out in the front. Well, there's this one little boy, he's hiding in the coat closet, the cedar fur coat closet, with this girl about to get his first piece. But he hears this dialect, and he's like, what the hell is that? He hears these men talking, and he peeks out, and he sees these men coming down the stairs. They got the girls thrown over their shoulders, and they're putting them in these vans. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So as soon as it seems like they're not going back upstairs, he sneaks out, gets on his bike, and he's riding his bike trying to follow these two vans. And he's got his cell phone and he's calling his dad, who's a detective. And the dad catches up to him. He leaves his bike, jumps in the car with his dad. Dad's calling SWAT and everybody. Okay. And then they get to the freeway. One van goes one way, one van goes the other way. So they follow the van and then they get SWAT and they rescue all of them. But then the other van, all the girls that were in that van, and then guess who else is in that van?
Don't tell me daddy is in there. Mama.
The Galleria mama wakes up because they just chloroformed her. And she's like, you weren't supposed to take me. I'm the one that set this up. And you weren't supposed to take my daughters. And the Russian guy says, everybody is somebody's daughter. Why should you be any different?
Oh.
And then I got the story of what happened to her. She ends up in Africa cleaning these golden toilets for this, you know. And,
so that is that all in one book, or this is the a next sequel that let us know
that would be like the
so
first.
You say you're gonna give like each person
that's
main
the
characters
book,
their own.
Each girl's gonna have her own story.
Her own story.
And it's gonna be written kind of in YA because I wanted to open these girls.
That is beautiful.
To what they're doing.
Yes.
And that's gonna be called Thieves in the Night. So,
Thieves in the Night. Look out for that, guys.
yes.
You know, Kim, I kept you for a long time. We did have a little tech problem. It's always a pleasure being here with you, and you know I could keep you.
Please,
tell the folks where you say it again, Kim.
Please, I need everybody to go and sign up, subscribe to Seamstress Kim Robinson, and then I have a Facebook Seamstress Alterations and Sewing Instructor page. Please go and sign up. And anybody that knows anybody that needs my help with sewing, designing, or whatever, please give them my information. And if you tell them your name, I pay 10% for any referrals because life is a little different for me right now. My husband has had a stroke and I'm a grandma now.
Yeah.
I'm finally a grandma. So I make all the money I can. And and the lessons, I'm available.
Let's do it, y'all. Go to www.seamstresskimrobertson.com.
KimRobinson.com.
KimRobinson.com. I'm going to put it there again. www.seamstress, that's SeamstressKimRobinson.com. And then what was the other one you said on your author page?
And it's actually Sewing Souls, but if you just type it in, or if you go on any of my websites, you can see my other links, like on my kim-robinson.com about my books. You could see all my other links from my other websites. But yes, please just help me. I need help.
And they need that.
I'm coming up on my 32nd year of marriage, but it's like a brand new relationship because I don't know this man.
Wow. And we have people that are, I don't understand that language, but they're from overseas on the page watching now. I don't know if that's Arabic writing, but hello to you.
Okay.
And those who are looking from overseas, we're international now.
Hey.
So we got folks from overseas watching. So
we can post anywhere.
Thank you for watching. I see somebody, ESZTIKE, S-Tech. I don't want to try to mess it up. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, folks from
All
overseas. So
right.
do. Thank you. Also for putting that in there for me, Kim. Queenie made sure that those letters were tight and together. Your website. So I
Oh,
put it in
okay.
there. She put it in there
Thank
much
you,
better.
Queenie.
Queenie, thank you. And you guys get that fabric. Thank you for
Yes,
our overseas people who are watching.
we can ship anywhere, or you can
Thank you
ship me if
guys.
you want, and I
Marty,
can.
thank you for watching. Also, Rovina, we thank you guys. Marsha and Dr. Velma.
And don't
So
forget to
Kim,
go look up
oh,
my
Kim,
book,
say it
Marsha
again, Kim.
Comer. Her what do you call it? The Rancher and Stilettos.
Oh, don't
That's a
forget the
good
retro
one.
stilettos. We
And
looking for
don't
part
forget
2.
that. Those are good books. I like
Yes.
them. And I,
Kim,
I
could you?
don't advertise everybody's book on my
I
site,
know you don't.
but
But
I
thank you.
went and I put hers on all of my sites.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Kim, could you show us the jacket you made
Oh,
that you have on now?
this is a jogging suit, and it's got 3 layers, and the elastic in here in the sleeves and at the bottom of the shirt. And then it's got the pants with the pockets, and it's comfy because it's starting to get cold around here lately.
So what type of material? And show the it's a hoodie.
It's velvet, and it keeps my bald head warm, nice and warm. I got the strings I can pull. Shoot. I don't be wanting to wear them wigs, but I hate when my head gets cold. So this is
that the beautiful bold lady, just beautiful.
Yes, and it's velvet. It's made out of velvet, so it feels great.
It looks great.
It makes me feel rich.
Okay, Kim, I'm gonna let you go. And thank you guys for being here. Kim, it has certainly been a pleasure. You guys go ahead and thank you. Like I said, our overseas show us and all of you there. It's been a pleasure. I see Angie's Haynes. I see you there. And again, thanks, Queenie, for putting that up there. And I'm gonna pin it. I pinned it so the folks can see that address there. So good night to you, Kim. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. And this is going to go up on Facebook. You are so welcome.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you so much too.
Okay.
Yes. This is going to go on YouTube, SoundCloud, and all of those. So I'm putting it out there for you.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Every link, and I will send them, especially through my seamstress page and everything.
Thank you.
And anything I can do for you, I'm here. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Good night. And folks, I'll be saying something to you. Thank you so much. And Kim, you could go ahead and drop yourself down. So while Kim, she's out of there. Thank you guys again, Ellen Sutter of ESP Presents and ESP Book Chats, where we bring page turners your way. Let me tell you guys what's coming up next. So on the 18th, Judy Picoult will not be here. Some people say Jody Picoult. I hope it's Jody Picoult. I apologize if I didn't say your name right, but she will not be here. But we will talk to a parent, Angelo Colazzo. This book, Jody Picoult, she paid homage to families with children that has osteogenesis imperfecta, and some people just abbreviated OI or brittle bone disease. So we do have a father who lost his daughter, his first child, to OI. So he's going to talk to us. He has a foundation as well that he has started on his own, but he's with the big foundation as well, the Ali Shea project, and it was named after his daughter. And so he is doing it's a lifelong thing for him, and he lost his daughter. So we'll talk to him, and he'll passionately talk to us about how he lost his daughter and what was it like. So it's going to be a in-depth Q&A with him on what was it like losing his first child to OI. And on the 23rd of this month, we will talk to S.A. Cosby. We're going to talk about his book, Blacktop Wasteland, and he will be here live. And these shows are at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So get ready to talk with S.A. Cosby and his book, Blacktop Wasteland. You'll learn a lot in this story. You'll see fatherlessness. You'll see also a mother who is ill, and she is hilarious. His mother, Ella, and the main Ella montage. And you will see Beauregard montage, and his mother is a hot-butted mess, tearing that nursing home up, getting phone calls, calling her to see how she's doing. And we will talk about this story. It will reflect on back in the day when they used to do those car racing, and you'll just hear a lot about this. So stay tuned for that. Also, this is our Judy Foucault's book. This is our November book of the month. So we will talk about that on the 18th. And this book, as I said, will have Angelo to talk with us on that. This is our December book, Child Bride. And I'll give you a small synopsis of this book. You have a 14-year-old Nell bears witness to a world that embraces the oppression of women. Married off when she turns 16, she journeys from the South to the city of Boston, where she must quickly learn first how to be a wife to a controlling and emotional abusive husband, and then a mother. So guys, stay tuned for that. Just give you a little synopsis of that. So bride, child. And also get ready. I wanted to show you this early. Get ready. We will have Daniel Black back again, The Coming. And in this story, you'll see this talks about The Coming tells the story of a people's captured and sojourned from their homeland across the Middle Passage. So stay tuned for that. You are going to be in for a treat. Lots of things going on in there. Take a look at the ship that's loaded with people. You guys know that history, that thick, rich history that we'll be talking about. So again, thank you guys for being here. I'm Ellen Sutter, the ESP Presents and ESP Book Chat. Thank you guys for watching our shows. Thank you guys, those who are from overseas that is watching us, making us now international. Thank you so much for that. And do stay tuned for our other shows that we have that's coming up. We're only going to have one person spotlight, which is Daniel Black for December. We're getting ready. We got for our upcoming January. So we got quite a few people coming in January. Stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for being here. Ellen Sutter of ESP Presents and ESP Book Chats. Signing off.